Hello, hello. Welcome. Monday evening. Here we are again. 1 week later, we managed to get through this eclipse. How did you experience it? Well, it's funny that both of us woke up around 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning and we couldn't go back to sleep. And we were fighting with each other, not inside each other, fighting. Are we going to get up? Are we going to go and meditate? Or shall we just turn around and go back to sleep? And the fact is, we turned around and we went back to sleep. I couldn't get up in the morning. I was so tired. And I had really weird dreams from that time onwards. So, and today has been, I keep saying this, but I'm not just making it up for the sake of saying it. It's been kind of a weird, different day. It's like technology not working, and I seem to have a karma with DPD, which is supposed to be delivering something, and they keep sending stuff back to Germany. It's like, okay. And then I sat in the afternoon and I was thinking what to do. And it was very clear, just sit with it and surrender. Nothing new, just sit with it and surrender. And it's important that we take small steps. Every little small step that we take towards growth and expansion is the right step. And we need to trust that we are at the right place at the right time. And then realizing that it's not just me who is experiencing a lot of tests of being staying centered in myself, tests to differentiate what are thoughts that truly come from my higher self, or what are thoughts that come from an ego perspective, that come from a lower self. And also the challenge of not being drawn into other people's dramas. So, and I think it boils down to what it boils down to is that in essence, it is about us trusting ourselves. That's all what we can do. Just trust ourselves and try to ascertain what is truth within us. How does truth resonate for us? And how can we be as close as possible to that source of light, that source of truth, even in our day-to-day life. And about 6 months ago, 1 year ago, I thought, oh, when is this all going to be over? One nightmare after the other. And apparently now there is another deadly thing that has occurred in the United States, I think in Florida or whatever. And I'm thinking, it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. It stops when we allow ourselves to raise above it, raise above fears. And we need to understand that it's part of duality. So light and shadow are working hand in hand. It is only because of the shadow that we recognize the light, and vice versa. And if I go back to my Vedic understanding of time and my limited understanding of Vedic astrology, there are cycles within cycles. So when we are born with a certain energy around us, and that filtrates through our being, but it filtrates through the nation, it filtrates through the earth. Here we talk about the age of Aquarius. In Vedic knowledge, you don't necessarily talk about the age of Aquarius. There are 4 yugas in Vedic understanding, and one of the yugas is Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga is the time of ignorance. It's the time of the darkest darkness. And then you have the opposite, which is Sat Yoga. And then Treta Yoga and Dvapara Yoga in between. So basically, it reflects how much of knowledge is alive within a particular period of time. And years ago, must be 20-something years ago, when I studied Vedic astrology, I was told that we are in Kali Yoga. We are in the beginning of Kali Yoga, which means at the beginning of the time of darkness. And then I thought to myself, how is that possible? I was thinking, oh, heaven on earth is just around the corner and all gonna be fine. But then I have learned that actually there are sub-cycles within the cycles. So although on the larger scale, we might be at the beginning of Kali Yoga, which is the time where truth and knowledge only prevails to a very, very minimal percentage. But within that Kali Yoga, there is Sat Yoga. And we are in a bubble of Sat Yoga within Kali Yoga. So just imagine, I've got my selenite ball here. So that's the bubble of Sat Yoga and Kali Yoga and all the other yogas where knowledge basically starts to fade out and gets distorted. It's like Chinese whisper. When it comes from source, it's pure light. But as it filtrates through, it gets distorted. So what I've understood is, this is just my understanding, that we are living in this bubble of Sat Yoga, which will, by the way, apparently will last about 1,000 years. So I think we're going to be fine. But we need to be aware that actually within this bubble of Sat Yoga, we have Kali Yoga that is the main dasha or the main phase that rules life at this particular point on planet. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because whenever we start to feel weak, whenever we start to diminish our life, our light, whenever we start to lower down our frequency, whenever we start to give in to the ego self, we are opening ourselves up to having that energy of Kali Yoga penetrating through the light body. So it is our responsibility to keep our frequencies high. That's why I keep saying all the time, just focus on expansion, raise your vibration, healing will become a natural byproduct. So, and it is about activating the inner knowing, the inner seeing, the third eye. Even the third eye is being sort of, in a way, little bit misrepresented. When I say third eye, I mean the eye that is bigger than my physical being, my 3D presence sitting here under my pyramid today on this Monday evening. The third eye, activating to third eye, is the eye that is in alignment with source. That is in alignment with our higher levels of being. So the lower eye is the ego eye. And when we speak about activating the energy of the third eye, I think it's important that we start to understand activating the link, the connection between us and our higher self, our soul connection, our soul understanding. And when we tap into that, when we have that channel open, and meditation opens it, it opens it up naturally, okay? And whatever is in the way gets pushed out of the way. And definitely leading up to this lunar eclipse, and by the way, it was, I think about 1 hour, 1.5 hour full lunar eclipse here in the UK, which is very, very unusual, because usually you have eclipses that last briefly and they only cover parts of the sun or parts of the moon are basically covered, but it was a full eclipse. Sadly, when we woke up, we couldn't see very much because it was clouded here in Devon. So keeping that in mind, with the session tonight, I want us to set the intention of linking to the third eye, the eye that is our higher self, the eye that is a fractal of the cosmic eye, the fractal of light. We are all basically light beings. The essence of us is crystalline light. And even if you take our blood, for example, and analyze it under the microscope, we can see the crystals that form basically a blood cell, if you really take it down to the essence of it. And it is about activating third eye, means activating the memory that I, Thomas, am a fractal of a light source that connects everything, that weaves the entire cosmos together in a beautiful tapestry. And that I sometimes has more light and sometimes has less light. It is only when we are going through phases where the light is less, where it is dimmed, that we are being challenged, that we are being given the lessons, giving the challenges that helps us waking up and looks at our fears. And one of the worst things that we can do to dim our light is actually giving into the energy of fear. I haven't figured it out. I'm going through my own fear. I'm going through a fear of, it's more like an existential fear. It's about worrying about how, as we grow our way of, or as I grow, or as I've changed the way of how I share whatever is there to share with people globally, it has really sort of challenged me to let go of everything that I thought I was, that I thought I would have practiced, and really stepping into the now and feeling that fear and knowing that actually you are at the right place, at the right time, and everything is just perfect the way it is. Intellectually, we all know it, but when we sit in there and you go through it, it's like, oh, fine, here we go again. I thought I had dealt with it. It comes around the corner from another angle, and we are being challenged again. So the only thing we can do is come together in meditation. I'm saying this, even you as a being, bring your being back together. Unite the three eyes, the third eye, the second eye, the first eye. Unite all of them in the essence of your being in the meditation. And this is why it's so important, more so now than ever, that we keep a regular practice, whatever that practice is for you. And the intention that we set today is the intention to link to the eye that is a fractal of light that connects all of us, the soul connection, the soul self. So we sit with that intention. For those of you who have been on a live session, on a live healing session with me, I said last week, I'm going to use some sacred tobacco, which is basically a powdered herb. And in Ayurveda, you use a treatment which is called nasya. which basically is you administer certain powders through the nose that mainly in Ayurveda, you use it to treat respiratory conditions, to help with allergies, sinus problems, for example. So it depends on which medicine you use. But in the ancient shamanic teachings, they have used tobacco, which is basically a powdered version of the raw tobacco, together with other plants that come together and achieve a particular purpose. And the composition that I have used today is a composition which brings peace of mind, which calms the mind, which helps with deep and sound sleep, which can activate the dream body. So you might find that certain dreams or certain messages come to you in a dream state. And for those who are in the UK, it's late, I am aware, it's 9 o'clock, 20 past 9, so we are going to go to bed very soon. But those who are not in the UK, I would encourage you after the healing session, perhaps to spend 20 minutes, half an hour, to just lie down and let the energy percolate through and let your experience settle and integrate the experience. Okay, so I'm going to teach you a new mudra today, which is a mudra for peace, which calms the mind. And as I said during the Awakening Alchemy meditation course, there's so many different mudras, which is wonderful, you know. It's like a recipe, so many different spices. So I thought I will give you something new. I just have to make sure I teach it in the right way. So basically, you place the palm of your right hand upwards, and then you rest your left hand in your right hand. It's a bit awkward here showing it. And then you just connect the thumbs of your fingertips. Sorry, the tips of your thumbs you connect together. And you place that hand into your lap. If you have any sacred objects, any crystals that you feel drawn to around, you're more than welcome to place it perhaps in the left hand that is facing up. I want to give a little bit of explanation of why right and left. Why do we place the left hand in the right and not necessarily the other way around? The right side represents the divine masculine, the left, the divine feminine. The divine masculine is expressed in Vedic terms as Purusha, the divine feminine, Prakriti. Purusha and Prakriti, basically the divine masculine holds the space for the divine feminine to be there, to stay protected and to do the work that needs to be done. So basically, as we expand the vessel, which is here symbolized by the right hand palm facing up, the masculine. And as we expand the vessel, the divine feminine, the energy of the healing Mother Earth can come through and basically bless us with the gifts that are there in the earth. So just a little bit of background. Again, place the left hand in your right hand, get the fingertips of your thumb together and close your eyes for a second. Just see if you notice anything particular. If you pick up any energy, anything in your body. If you feel like maybe there's a resistance in a particular part of your body, or maybe you feel the energy flowing, maybe you become more sensitive, you feel a tingling sensation in one part of your body, perhaps not so much in another part, but just as you keep doing, you basically increase your sensitivity. You increase your awareness around the energy body. And I'm just typing something in the chat for later. Okay, just open your eyes again. Do you start, maybe just a little thumbs up or thumbs down, which is okay. Do you start to become more aware of the various mudras and what they do? By the way, this mudra is also very grounding. It's very earthing, really very grounding. It just pulls the energy from our busy mind into our physical body, out into the earth. So do you start to get a sense of the mudras as you practice? Yeah, the different mudras? Okay, so if not, that's also good. So just keep on practicing. Practice makes perfect, as we say. And the breath that we are going to use is the quantum breath, which I have been teaching in the courses. I think for sure I have taught it in the Awakening Alchemy course, but I think also in the 5-Body Healing Series. But this time I want us to bring the breath up to our third eye. So what we do is we breathe in, and as we breathe in, just push your tummy out. You breathe in, and then you take 3 short breaths. It's like imagining a sip. You bring the energy up to your third eye, and you hold your breath briefly, and then you breathe out as if you would breathe out from your third eye. So again, breathe in, sip it up, hold your breath briefly in the area of your third eye, the region in between your eyebrows, and then slowly breathe out. Okay, just keep doing this and combine it with the mudra. I'm just setting up the frequencies in the background. As we go through, and I will go into a brief meditation as well myself, and then I will start taking just a tiny bit of the powder. And what it does for me is to just really allows me to step out of the ego body and move into the body of the higher self. And it clears the mind. And I will teach you one of the shamanic songs. I will teach you the main phrase of it that you can chant with me should you feel inclined to do so. It's quite simple. The words are now in the chat box. Hai e. So very simple. Hai e. And you repeat that 4 times. And the last time, we just elongate the E as much as possible. Don't try to panic. It's very simple. And I will lead it as much as possible. Sometimes it takes a couple of seconds to catch my breath again after I've taken the medicine. So forgive me if that happens. And then we will sit with the breath, sit with the mudra in the meditation practice. Okay, so I need to change the original sound, and I will slowly bring up the frequencies in the background. And Dan will give me a thumbs up if the volume is just perfect without. Thank you. Just a little bit lower. Okay. Right. So for now, I'd like you to sit in the mudra. Sit with the mudra and the breath work with closed eyes. Listen to the sound, the frequency in the background, which is the light of Christ. Bringing in the light with the intention to activate our third eye, the eye that is linked to our highest self, to our soul self, strengthening and filtering through us so we can withstand any storm that might come upon us during the week that is coming. Hi 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 Awakutairi, 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 awakutari. Awakutairi, 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 awakutairi. Hi, feel free to join me. Hi, 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 Ushaka umashkuru, ushaka umashkuru, ushaka umashkuru, ushaka umashkuru. Ushaka umashkuru, ushaka umashkuru, ushaka umashkuru, ushaka umashkuru. Hi, hi, Shaika humari, shaika humari, shaika humari, shaika humari. Shaika humari, shaika humari, shaika humari, shaika humari. Hi, hi, Chimapukawaki, 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 chimapukawaki. Chimapukawaki, 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 chimapukawaki. Hi, Ukamatsi katsiru, ukamatsi katsiru, ukamatsi katsiru, ukamatsi katsiru. Ukamatsi katsiru, ukamatsi katsiru, ukamatsi katsiru, ukamatsi katsiru. Hi, hi, Kaputava teohu, kaputava teori, kaputava teohu, kaputava teori. Kaputava teohu, kaputava teori, kaputava teohu, kaputava teori. Hi, Yushisharaka humari, Yushisharaka humari, Yushisharaka humari, Yushisharaka humari. Yushisharaka humari, Yushisharaka humari, Yushisharaka humari, Yushisharaka humari. Hi, Sharaka humari, Sharaka humari, Sharaka humari, Sharaka humari, Sharaka humari, Sharaka humari. Sharaka humari, Sharaka humari, Sharaka humari, Sharaka humari. Hi, Hi, Now we're gonna sit for a little while in silence. Hold the mudra if it's easy, and simply either feel the peace of your mind, or if it feels natural, come back to the breath. Breathe in. Our breath is one. Breathe out. The power of the central sun. Breathe in. Our breath is one. Breathe out. The power of the central sun. Breathe in. Our breath is one. Breathe out. The power of the central sun. As you are settled in the meditation, feel your subtler bodies expanding. Feel the region in between your eyebrows connecting to your soul self, to source. You may see some light. See anything, you may see some colors. Whatever your experience at this point in time is exactly what you need to experience on your path towards expansion. No judgment, no expectations. See your thoughts flying in and out. There are any. We don't pay any attention to them. We just let them come and go. If it helps, go back to the breath. The breath always helps to clear our mind. This breath in particular opens up our connection to Source. It unites the three eyes. Your ego eye is governed by your logical self. The eye that is governed subconsciously by all our past experiences, traumas, whatever that holds us back, unite with the third eye, the eye of Source, the eye of Self. Now slowly, just relax your hands. You can let go of the mudra. Come back to your normal breath. Keep your eyes closed for a brief moment. Perhaps wiggle your toes, move your hands, your fingers. Maybe stretch your back, your neck. Then rub the palms of your hands together vigorously. Place the palms of your hands above your eyeballs. Feel the warmth, the healing energy from your hands emanating through the palms of your hands. And slowly open your eyes as you massage your head, your face, your neck. Just squeeze your muscles in your body briefly with your hands to come back into the physical body. There is a question, what was the meaning of the chant? The meaning of the chant is basically activating and working with the subtle medicine which is basically our spirit animals. Working in particular with the energy of the jaguar, black jaguar, that comes and tells the story of how it clears our energy field and how it gives us protection. If anybody feels called or feels a calling, perhaps share any experiences that you may have had. How did you find it? How are you all? Yes, Janine?
I say thank you very much as well, and thank you. Everything that you said at the beginning was very meaningful and beautiful. Thank you. I was quite surprised myself, with the breathing and the mudra, and I said I have a chattery mind.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I was just the thought like went in there. I think my mind's not chattering. It was quite very peaceful. I don't know. It's just chemtrails or something. I don't know. Or if you're getting rid of anything, I could taste metally. So I don't know if I'm bringing anything up. That's anything in the air. I don't know. I seem to have a metal taste. I don't know. Could be some very horrible cooking. But also I could feel when you said that at the very beginning, I could feel how grounded my feet were. They felt, I don't know if everyone, quite heavy to the floor. And then when I was breathing, I was just like trying to feel everything in my body, just the sensations. And I could feel pins and needles in my hands and my face. I feel like a lot of sensations there. And as we're going on, my feet were feeling heavier and my hands were feeling heavier. So I don't know if that's, everyone's different, I know. So, but my body was feeling not nastily, but quite more grounded, I would say.
Yeah.
More dense, I don't know. But it was lovely. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was very relaxing for me. That's beautiful. Thank you.
It's a very good way to calm the mind. And if you have tasted anything metallic, it could be that the body is getting rid of some toxins, some metals that might be in the system. And we all basically live in an environment where there's a lot of pollution. And yeah, it might be just a natural response of clearing what needs to be cleared. Thank you. Thank you. Laura?
Hi. That was really great. I just felt like that when you immediately said to put the hands together, it just felt like a big hug the way you described it. I don't know, it just felt really good. And of course, when I was doing it, and then I might drop my hands and I might put it the opposite way, it just didn't feel right. So going back to the right hand under it, it just felt like a big hug. And I just saw I didn't want to take my hands off my eyes at the end because I kept seeing, I don't know if it was because you were talking about the sun, but I would see a lot of yellow, and I thought that I should be seeing green because that's more, but at the end, I just saw a lot of, I call it like my windshield. It's like it's all filled up with the most gorgeous blue. I don't want to take my hands down because it looks so pretty, but anyway, it was just very relaxing. I wanted to just slither down and curl up and go to sleep.
Yes, maybe take a little bit of time to just rest and relax before you get on with your day-to-day work.
You don't have to twist my arm for that.
Thank you so much for sharing. Anybody else? Doreen, I saw the star, 5-star of David. Wow. And lilac lemon colors then in the third eye staring at me. It was very calming. Amazing. So again, the intention that we set was to really experience how does it feel, number one, when we are in control of our mind, number two, when our mind in a way starts to settle down and starts to calm down. That's when our vessel starts to expand, our body starts to expand, and that can be in different ways. The mudra in a way helps us to stay grounded. One can feel very earth grounded, but also could feel some heaviness maybe. That means if you are tired, the body goes into, I really want to lie down, I want to just rest. So we are allowing the body, we give the vessel the space to do whatever is necessary to do. Okay. Any other thoughts? Yes, fantastic. Susie?
Hi, that was really beautiful. Thank you. I was expecting to be calm and I was seeing all kinds of stuff. Is that like normal? I saw an eye vibrating with rainbows around it. I saw dragons. I saw wings. I was like in the universe, and I was thinking, I even saw peacock, like tons of peacock eye feathers. So I was kind of expecting kind of not seeing anything, and I just saw like a whole movie of things.
Of images. The medicine that I used is the happy that enhances vision at the same time. So it calms the mind and it enhances vision. So, which means what you have experienced, obviously, is what needed to come through. And what interesting is that the ego mind was trying to tell you, this is what I'm expecting, or this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And that got infiltrated by the second eye, which is more or less your subconscious being, who might have done quite a lot of work on yourself and cleared some stuff. And then it linked it back again together with the third eye, which is the inner understanding of what it means to truly see. To truly see is a seeing that is not watered down or colored by the ego mind, and just let it flow, which you have done beautifully. And don't forget, it is a healing session. So whatever needed to be healed, whatever needs to be healed, will just naturally flow through. That can manifest on a physical level as a sensation, for example, a taste in the mouth. It can happen as visions, as long as we don't get caught up by the visions. Just see them as beautiful pictures that come and go. That's wonderful. But I always say, if you have a particular vision during a meditation, always sit with that image, with the knowing that came up in the meditation, outside of the meditation. Feel it. Where does it come from? Did it come from a process of cleansing, of purification, or did it come from another level that will teach me and tell me something? And when you are able to go through that in a normal waking state, not so much in a transcendental state in meditation, you will get much more out of it, because you will see that there's meaning there. And in the meditation, we just allow whatever happens to happen, and we just let it come through. So does that make sense, Susie?
Yes, thank you. It was really beautiful. You know, I meditate a lot, but this time it almost felt like I saw my many lives come through as a movie. And so it was a really calming, peaceful meditation where I just relaxed, and the visuals were just amazing to me. Like I've never seen, well, I've seen a lot of visuals, but this one was really beautiful. And then I love at the end now, every time I meditate, I rub my hands together and I put it over my eyes, and I see like a million sparkles of white light. And so it's really, and then I can feel it's like all black and a million sparkles of white light. So thank you. I really appreciate you teaching us this. And since I've taken your course, you know, I've taken both courses before, and I've never really shared a lot because it was such a big platform. But since this is really small, I can share more. And I want to thank you. You've really helped me with my expansion and my spiritual growth. So thank you, Tomaz, and everyone else. As I hear your experiences, I'm very, very grateful. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Susie. Beth?
Yeah, hi. Yeah, thank you for that. I was the same as Susie, like so busy, like, oh, I had to turn the volume down at the one stage because I was just like, it was just so much going on. But I actually was looking up, believe it or not, but it's no coincidence, is it? Kali Yuga earlier today, because Krishna came up in like a meditation, and I didn't know. I was thinking, who's that? It was like a blue guy with like a flute, and I had to look it up, and then I was reading about Kali Yuga and stuff. So then I had to put this statue or something in an area where I lived or something. It was like very like bizarre. So that was strange that you brought that up then. So then in the in your meditation, I was seeing loads of like Indian dancers, you know, with their skirts and stuff swirling around, all their jewelry from their noses and stuff like that. That was one of the ones I can remember. Then so much other stuff and colours I can't even remember. It was really busy. So I didn't find it as calming as I would have liked. It was very like, whoa, you know, loads going on.
Wonderful, wonderful. And how was the chanting? How was it during the chanting? Did it intensify? Did it change it? What happened during the chanting for you?
Yeah, for me, then that went with the chant, I had to turn it down a bit because I couldn't concentrate on. Yeah, I think it made it worse. I intensified it. Yeah, that's why it was a bit too much at those points. Yeah.
Okay, good.
And Tomaz?
Hi, Thomas.
Yes, Liz.
I found the chanting really wonderful. I loved the chanting. The noise, my torso got really hot.
Yes.
And then it cooled down. And then when the chanting got louder, it got hot again. So I found the chanting very, very good.
Okay.
I enjoyed the chanting side, but very, very peaceful.
Thank you. We have worked with the spirit animals. So coming in and allowing them to do what needs to be done. So if it needs to enhance the visuals, if it needs to go through some physical sensation, it's wonderful. So no, thank you for being there, Liz and Richard. I really appreciate it. How was it for you, Richard?
I'm going to say that I found it so relaxing. She had to nudge me. I was falling asleep, I'm afraid. But,
No, only at
the end, that was. But
she wouldn't wake up.
I enjoyed the chanting as well. I say, you know, it's amazing how you sort of get attached to it.
Yes.
So I enjoyed it.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you. Okay, Laura, and then we finish off. You've got your hands up again.
I'm sorry, I had written down when Susie was talking that I felt like that someone was here. Like, I don't know if it was an animal or I'm thinking it might be my dad because in 2 days it'll be his passing day. But I was going to say the vibrations, I did along with you, and I'm glad you couldn't all hear me because I have the Southern accent, right? But anyway, it was the vibration that it was just amazing, the vibration from the chanting. So it was really nice.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, for turning up and for being here. I would like to announce that we have had a discussion, Dan and myself. We would like to bring the session forward again, because even for me, 9 o'clock is a little bit late on the Monday night. So if we are going to say it again in the email next week, but we are hoping to be able to come back to the 7:30, which is about 1.5 hours earlier. I hope that is going to be okay for those who are in the States. I don't know, it will be awkward for the Australian people, but if that's okay, we would like to just bring it forward about 1.5 hours, or maybe we can say 8 o'clock. That already for the UK will be helpful. So we give another extra hours for those who are coming and joining us from the other side of the world. So again, thank you so much for being here and for just holding up the torch and just keep walking the path. And remember, fly higher and dive deeper at the same time. Big hugs to everybody. Have a lovely week. Ciao, ciao.